Oh, I had this all planned all summer, right? Okay, I knew Apple. They said they were bringing out iOS 16 for the iPhone, iPadOS 16 for the iPad, and macOS Ventura for the Mac. And I've been using them all. That's Ventura on the Mac there. Lots for writers in all of them. So you and I, we were going to be examining them each in turn. Yeah, but we're not going to do that today. There, iOS 16, that's already out, and there is a 58 Keys episode devoted to all the lovely writer things in it. But the iPad version and the Mac things, they've been delayed to October. And I really wanted to talk to you about writing on the Mac today. So let's do this. All of this, by the way, is going to apply for the forthcoming macOS Ventura, but also on the current one, or the old one, if you like, macOS Monterey, and definitely a few versions before, maybe all of them, maybe all Macs ever. I'm not sure. Here are 5 tips for writers about using the Mac, writing on the Mac, things that will help you. And if you know all of them already, then I'm totally wasting your time, aren't I? Hello, I'm William Gallagher, and this is 58 Keys, which, as ever, as always, is for writers like you and me who use and who write, obviously, on Macs and iPhones and iPads. Do subscribe because there's always so much to talk about. And apparently, clicking a bell livens up the world in some fashion. This time, 5 tips about the Mac, specifically 5 things for writing on the Mac, and they're not actually in any order. There's no countdown thing here, but most of them are things I use at least a lot, and they're all things that I think should be better known and appreciated than they are. Starting with a way to very quickly concentrate, get down to work on your writing. Picture the scene. There you are. You sit down at your Mac. You want to concentrate. There's absolutely nothing we can do about, I don't know, any family around you and people coming to the door. All sorts of things we can't do. But what we can do is turn on Do Not Disturb on the Mac. And you've come across this before, but you've probably seen it that you get Do Not Disturb through schlepping through a menu, clicking the no, not anymore. Do this instead. Hold down the Option key on the keyboard and click anywhere in the clock towards the top right of your screen. We're done. Do Not Disturb is on. No messages, no bleeps, no calls, unless you've done something special to allow them. You just click into your writing. And equally, when you're done, Option click the clock, and Do Not Disturb is turned off. Quick, simple, and you can concentrate. Let's go the other way. Completely different now. A hardware thing. This is only if you have a trackpad. And if you know this one already, I suspect actually that you're like me. You kind of unthinkingly assume that this is a thing that all Macs do all of the time. And when you go to another Mac and you find out that no, that's not true, you wonder, why isn't it true? Why doesn't Apple do this for everybody? It's this. By default, when you want to click to select something, I mean, write a document, a menu item, or just, a word rubbish word in that sense you're going to delete, you have to press down hard on the trackpad. But change one setting, and instead of thumping down, you just tap the trackpad. Sounds like it is a very small change, but I cannot go back to thumping. And not when it just feels right to do this tap to click, as it's called. Go to System Preferences on any version of the Mac up to and including 2021's macOS Monterey, then choose Trackpad. Make sure you're in this point and click section, then click in the tap to click button. On macOS Ventura, where you go to System Settings, as it's now called, and you do basically the same thing. I really like that you immediately know the difference, because there you are, you press hard to click that tap to click option on, but then since it's now turned on, you can just gently tap the trackpad and it turns off, although you then have to press hard to look, just turn it on. Okay, I think if you like this, you'll like it as much as I do, and if I'm wrong, well, you haven't spent any more cash. Stacks. You have a messy desktop. I know you do. I cleared up just before we started talking. Sometimes a messy desktop's a pain because you literally just can't, you struggle to find what you need. Sometimes, mentally you think you should tidy it up, but then you also think, well, equally, I should tidy up the house, and that's not going to happen. Go to your Find a Desktop, please, then choose the View menu, select Use Stacks. There you go. You see what it does here on this Mac? It groups things together. So, yeah, they're all still on the desktop, but all the pages, documents are together in one stack, all the images in another. To then dig through a stack to find the one file you need right now, where you just click on the stack and it pops out and you choose one. I don't tend to use this myself. The truth is I actually tidy up my desktop quite a lot because, it's easier than writing. And in checking this out for you, I also tried it out on my MacBook Pro. I swear, I did it at the end of the day when lots of mess and I hadn't tidied it up yet. I swear Stacks didn't sort it, it just kind of rearranged them. If that happens to you, go to the View menu and now choose Group Stacks By. Try using Stacks by Date Created. That could be useful. And if it isn't, well, grief, this video is proving, you can just go back to the View menu and untick Use Stacks and everything goes back to the way you had it. We needn't talk about it ever again. Okay, I have just found this very interesting quote on my iPhone. Watch please as I select it, copy it, and then paste it on my Mac. This is not a case of sequences shortened. You didn't miss anything. I didn't skip a step. There's no cheat here. Copy it on the iPhone, paste it on the Mac, or vice versa. The number of times I'll be writing on the Mac when a text or WhatsApp message or something comes in and I see the notification, but it comes in on my phone and I can just carry on writing on my Mac, copy it out of the Mac, out of Pages. Don't copy, cut it. 30 years ago, I nearly put a shopping list into the middle of an article in a magazine because I did exactly this. Anyway, cut it from the Mac or the iPhone, paste it into the other device, and it just does it. No, I'm not. I'm not going to say that you could show that copy and paste between devices to any PC and Android user, and particularly show it to them when they say, "What do you use Apple Gear?" But I do. Look, all right, I do this thing, and I know it's bad. Okay, I also, though, in my defense, I know that not one single PC or Android user ever notices when I do it. So I am being a completely ineffectual smartass. But on the odd occasion when someone messages me and the message mentions a temperature and they do it by writing it out as, 15 degrees Celsius, well, I send back a message that looks like this. Notice the little degree. Actually, hang on, let's be really useful. The most useful thing you may ever hear from me. Please go listen to John Finnemore's sketch about the inventors of Fahrenheit and Celsius meeting. It's from BBC Radio 4 and his show on that, and there's a recording on YouTube. I will rush to put the link at the bottom. But the degree symbol, you want to know about the degree symbol. It's just option 0. Small thing. Like all of these, really. Small things, but useful. And you like detail. Don't you? Something very satisfying about knowing a little detail. That's it for 5 quick Mac tips for writers. I'll tell you though, I've been thinking about this and I must have a list of about 30 things that I would really like you to know about if you don't already. So we'll be back. You and I will be back with more Mac tips for writers, possibly every time Apple delays something that I plan to talk about. Thank you very much for watching. Now take care of yourself, Write more, and I'll see you soon.